cloudy skies. The temperature was 38 Fahrenheit, or 3 degrees Celsius.
Hour of the Tiger.
Humidity was 92%.
Oh,
Wind
310
for west
to
at 7 miles an hour, and the barometric pressure was 29,012.8 millibars, and steady. Now for some observations from the surrounding area. At BWI Airport, fog was reported. 5.
What happened?
Winds west at 5 miles an hour. At Charlottesville, fog was reported, which reduced the visibility to 1/4 of a mile. 40. At Dulles Airport, fog was reported, which reduced the visibility to 1/2 of a mile.
Oh, whoa.
Winds calm.
This is...
At Fredericksburg,
so
haze was reported.
This app here.
Visibility 5 miles.
I never used it
Wind
like
was calm, and the pressure was 29.91 inches and steady.
And paste.
At Martinsburg, fog was to 1/4 of a mile. 32.
Click here.
Winds were south at 5 miles an hour. At Norfolk, cloudy. Temperature 40. At Ocean City, fog was
I just want to hear him say, watch out for slick spots.
41 degrees.
Don't slip.
At Pawtuxet Naval Air Station, cloudy. Temperature 39. At Quantico, with light rain and fog. Temperature 40. Wind southwest at 3 miles an hour. For Richmond, fog was reported. It was 42. At Roanoke, fog was reported, which reduced the visibility to 1/4 of a mile. Temperature 35 degrees. At Winchester, fog was reported, which reduced the visibility to 1/2 of a mile. Temperature 32. At New York, fog was reported. 33. At Philadelphia, fog was reported. 36. At Raleigh, fog was reported, which reduced the visibility to 1/8 of a mile. 48. Now for a few observations on the waters. Here is a look at the weather features that will affect the region over the next several days. Low clouds and fog are expected overnight across much of the area. High pressure will briefly return Wednesday before another area of low pressure brings a chance for wintry precipitation Wednesday night into early Thursday. A dome of high pressure returns for Friday and into the first half of the weekend. Another area of low pressure may impact the region the second half of the weekend and into early next week as temperatures trend near normal for the end of January. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for the Washington metro area and the surrounding listening area. Rest of tonight, mostly cloudy. Patchy fog. Visibility 1/4 mile or less at times. Lows in the lower 30s. West winds around 5 miles an hour. Wednesday, patchy fog in the morning. Mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 40s. Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 20s. North winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Thursday, partly sunny in the morning. And Thursday, high mid-30s. Northwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour. Gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Thursday night, mostly clear. Lows in the lower 20s.
Niggas gon' ride something like
10 to 15 miles an hour.
Cause my gas is inside, there's a blow dry. Never true in your raps, with some damn lies. Great job, make them spit through the wire. And you don't supply shit, you a buyer. I'm the king of gang rap, Connie Sire. That's it, for revenue you rate and admire. Your rubber grip tight, no pliers. I gotta take you out, call it quits or retire. The fourth room down, fifth lift them up. Barrels don't leave shells, so I'm switching up. Do something like a bus driver still picking up. Got your hands in your pocket, niggas, stick them out. I'm a projects, money's no objects. So we feel the fuck max and we contact. Slide in, slide out.
What do you do if the bus stops? What you heard playing on that PA system? It's essentially an MP3 jukebox player.
Yes, nigga. Learn We slim. We out here. I got. Don't thank you for writing. GTC. We the critics, not the shooters behind me. OGs, the wide lights, just in these 90s. So don't sleep, no, nigga. We are one. Won't matter who it is, bound to get the job done. We the critics, got the shooters behind me. OGs, the wide lights, just in these 90s. So don't sleep.
Well, let's
Don't matter who it is, bound to get the job done. On the same shit, running with the same clip. Never gonna change, no, nigga. Only change hoes and the cool, but only if it's fucking up. Play some aim and niggas above the button. Working hard in the paint, no patch of fucking up. Repass and flip that to get our shit up. Only other option is to stick up. Never a 9 to 5, cause I ain't got no day job. From the slums, little homie, where we play hard. You don't wanna see the 30-30 when it sprays on. 22 for walk around 3/8 for the beat. The 40 to lick them down, the max for the heat. Heard niggas saying, but they wanna make tracks with us. Before that, didn't even crack to us. Going hard in the booth, it's a takeover. Hard in the ground into
train. Oops. Damn it.
yes, nigga. Word take, we slim, we out here. Don't get close, nigga. We the critics, not the shooters behind me. OGs, the wide lights, just in these 90s. So don't sleep, no, nigga. We are one. Won't matter who it is, bound to get the job done. We the critics, not the shooters behind me. OGs, the wide lights, just in these 90s. So don't sleep, nigga. We are one. Don't matter who it is, bound to get the job done. On the same shit, running with the same clip. Never gonna change, no, nigga. Only change hoes and the cool, but only if it's fucking up. Play some aim and niggas above the button. Working hard in the paint, no patch of fucking up. Repass and flip that to get our shit up. Only other option is to stick up. Never a 9 to 5, cause I ain't got no day job. From the slums, little homie, where we play hard. You don't wanna see the 30-30 when it sprays on. 22 for walk around 3/8 for the beat. The 40 to lick them down, the max for the heat. Heard niggas saying, but they wanna make tracks with us. Before that, didn't even crack to us. Going hard in the booth, it's a takeover. And the brown into your face, that's a makeover. 2 and 5 for a Q. The rest profit. Hustlers when I say won't sleep till I knock it. And don't push me, cause I ain't in the top yet. 4-year-old fools, so I ain't scared if you got it. Y'all got it. Is it me you comparing to? I ain't finished my favorite.
That's noisy as hell. Oh, shit.
Sure yet, but I aired them just 30. And I ain't talking about no jump shot, brush them off, go top. You know the cold hurt my tracks. Didn't think I was capable. 4-5 pipe on my holidays and traceable. Didn't think I was capable. 4-5 pipe on my holidays and traceable. You niggas don't ride something like a flat tire. Ain't a fire at your back, it will be backfire. Cause my gas is inside, there's a blow dry. Never true in your raps, you some damn lies. Great job, make them spit through the wire. And you don't supply shit, you a buyer. I'm the king of gang rap, call me sire. That's hate, for revenue you rate and admire. Tell the truth, you rubber grip tight, no pliers. I gotta take you out, call it quits or retire. The 4th room down, 5th lift them up. Barrels don't leave shells, so I'm switching up. Do something like a bus driver still picking up. Got your hands in your pocket, nigga, stick them out. All the projects, money's no objects. So we finger fuck max and we contact. Slide in, slide out, stop when we ride out. Down, go, I buck rounds as you don't count. You're standing up till I tell them sit down. Stomach on the ground, hands behind your back, on your neck, when I'm digging in your pants. Give me that in your trip, all for the rest. He said, check the weed, leave the cash. What? I'ma do him dirty, Mad Max. Sure, niggas get back, bitches get smacked and get smacked face down when I'm breaking her back. Yo, we got metal like a rap, made a name in rap. I ain't setting it for track, never. So, I'ma need me a bag for that C-O-L-T. Carved in my rack, steel unstolen. Stereo scratch, sleep on my actions. Stop the madness, I'm reeling up, get it gone. Man, shit, they can't go sleep like I don't got a night joke. Center ain't class, didn't see drop. Now run up on them close. I ain't doing wrong, run up clear blood strong till it jumps on my palm. And it's highly dangerous and known to me arms contagious. Sicker than sharks, I ain't seeing this, but I'm a all-star. All snap, crack, pop like camera. All snap, run, duck, just hide when I let off. Run, man in the mask, man in the act, man with the strap to your man's vision black. With the show dog and hot snap, on the G's for YG. Scroll clap, we clap, do you come and try me? 70s and 90s, been moving grimy. Blood rush till it's hooked up to the ivy.
4 or 5 will stretch you, and they think it's yours. Until they end up on the stretcher, better get a coffin. Yo, Critians, so we ain't in a no long talking. Money overflow, back on my bullshit. These punks that I grew with, acting like they're too sick, too no cash making me ever switch sides. Or babble to the Jakes, almost get my crunch fried, huh? My mind's fried, see I don't give a fuck. Skank it with a YG, guarantee we hit them up. Take a nigga slut, man, you know me, never look back since my first pack in OGs. Pack nigga, plus I get busy with these OGs, screaming Southside, outside all the police. Fucked up when I nip 1.5 a beef. Snakes that they rap chops, now you owe me 10 G's. Till I go to sleep, till you for the educator. Marksman, shoot for fun, what the fuck's a murder one? Bad news if you run into the DBS, all I do is give one nod, then he breathes the text. Then he breathes the tech. All I do is give one nod, then he breathes the tech. We the Critians got the shooters behind me. That OG so wide, the 70s and 90s. So don't sleep, no, nigga, we are what? Won't matter who it is, bound to get the job done. We the Critians got the shooters behind me. That OG so wide, the 70s and 90s. So don't sleep, nigga, we are what? Won't matter who it is, bound to get the job done.
Oh, shit.
Twin hammers look like the Siamese. I got that beam from the Japanese. My French girl waved, you can remind me of mac and cheese. It is what it has to be. I'm killing all who's after me. They have to see me rich and I swear what's up financially. Like who we frontin' for? They flying like this a trampoline. These bitches couldn't marry a guy. It was a Magdalene. My shop like a little bro with tag along. It's these instrumentals we got me bragging on. It's rose with beer brook class riches we dragon on. The nigga with the gators, it's like what's they were dragging on. The Megatron, landing in Lebanon. Slapping that back and forth like a tetherball. Used to live on French Street, right in the Esplanade. Bitches wanna ship and make us film it like espionage. You know that's why they set for it. Like why you niggas ain't protect your neck for it? Chopping in shit so we win. Like connect for the cylinder, always a spin. I connect for it, right into your dome when I get it out the chest to joint rapper. When you go on tour, it's all music. Maybe when we go on tour, it's all shootings. Like other shots got kicked, I gotta shoot it. Nigga, if you talk that talk, you gotta do it. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Like he just wanna go on tour and make music. But every time you go on tours, it's all shootings. The last of a dying breed. Yeah, I'm the last of a dying breed. I uppercut these fucks in their chin and they fly with ease. I bleed what I have to bleed. This blood's what I have to see. Folk fit gon' sit with your fam. I call it Applebee's. Who the fuck trying to get stuck? Tell them ask for me. That match pack about to get struck. I brought the gasoline. I've never lost. I got OGs to get it back for me. Calm me down, calm with a crown. Call me your majesty, God. They try to handle me, Lord. No, I don't play that. The bullets in that gray Mac A-track. They go way back. I volume up, top your mark. Like where the safe at. Put numbers on your head. You already covered in face tats, boy. Why they always trying to snake that, boy? Charlie got the defibrillator to shake that, boy. Forget about it. You turn me to Rocky ASAP, boy. I'm the last of a dying breed. They wanna break that, boy. You
Bringing all that beef to the farm, my man's branded you. If you don't get respect in the streets, I can't stand with you. They tell you you a threat on the beat, your man's scamming you. The Benz is like a beast when it spins. Crash Bandicoot, pull up with a camera crew. Cannons in your face now. Anybody that's lying to us is lying face down. White boy, nice with a pen. This ain't no 8 Mile. We playing hopscotch in the spots where the body's traced out. Cause when you go on tour, it's all music. And baby, when we go on tour, it's just shootings. Drive-bys, your eyes watch shut, we gone Kubrick. See, we ain't really about all that talk, we just do shit.
Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last with down bread. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last with down bread. Like he just wanna go on tour and make music. The last with down bread. And every time we go on tours, it's on showbiz. The last with down Twin hammers look at the side of me. Got top beams from the Japanese. French girl waves, you can remind them nigga mac and cheese. It is what it has to be. I'm killing up what's after me. The have to see. Rich and I swear what's up financially. Like who be flying for it? Flying like there's a chaplain. These bitches couldn't marry a guy. It was a Magdalene. A shot like a little bro. What's happening about? It's these.
This is 680 News.
Good evening, it's Monday, January 26th. I'm Caitlin Lee.
I'm Scott Burnett. Here's what's making news right now.
The Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario now weighing in on a drama between the Premier's office and a member of the science table who was also on retainer for the union.
COVID-19 infections continue to sweep through Canada Post Gateway facility in Mississauga. More than 220 employees have now tested positive since January 1st. A variant of COVID-19 that sparked a deadly outbreak at a Barrie nursing home may be in the community. Health officials believe it's spreading rapidly in Barrie and beyond.
The Premier is urging the federal government to make COVID-19 testing mandatory for all international travelers.
No politics, no nothing.
Doug Ford says it's absolutely critical to protect our borders.
The Maple Leafs lead the Flames 4-3 in the third period in Calgary as
So if you know how to
continue to
extract the
display
apps, I want it from your phone. Email it to myself.
GameStop stock again, more than 90% at rallies after hours as Musk tweets about it. And Beyond Meat and Pepsi teaming up business at 56.
680 News time on 31.
Time for traffic
Make
and
sure our
weather
home-
together
home is
on the
right.
ones. Here's Craig here.
This report is brought to you by IA Private Wealth. Some collisions on the eastbound
Phone's Wi-Fi
401 and
is
410
on.
and the
It
collectors.
probably
2 right
didn't
lanes have been
it's
taken
off
away for this
already.
now. And then the ramp to Dixie, the left lane's closed off through it. We had a problem at Morningside in the Express, but that's been cleared away. However, there's still construction east of Morningside in the Express. They've got the right lane blocked off. And they've also closed the eastbound 401 Meadowvale Express to
You
collector
just have like an
transfer.
emotional response
Southbound
to
418 ramp to the West 401 still blocked off for this crash at Curtis Road. That is still there, the right lane blocked off. Not a huge problem getting by, though. Just watch out for it. Westbound 401 approaching the Allen in the Express. The right lane's closed too. And then west of Jamestown Parkway, the right lane's closed for another collision. IA Private Wealth is Canada's choice for professional trusted advice that's uniquely tailored for every stage of your financial journey. Visit iaprivatewealth.ca. Next report at 11:41 with the forecast. Here's Natasha at the high.
Blowing snow slowly coming to an end this evening. Overnight, after midnight, skies will clear. We're down to -7, wind chill -14. And after a sunny start, watch for increasing clouds through the afternoon. We're going to stay dry in Toronto, though, with a high of -4 degrees. Tonight, we're dropping to a low of -7.
Downtown Toronto right now, probably going to be -3, feeling like -9. 680 News time.
United Nations and the feds here, the public, what was it top here, said the same
Well,
thing.
in
3
reaction
years
to tonight's
minimum for
Sun
the
Media
virus, 5
report that
years
a member
minimum
of
for the
Ontario's
economy.
science table
Well, I don't think we can
also being
start
paid
counting
by
for
a
this.
teachers union.
year,
The
not
Sun
last year.
reporting as a member of
They
the
said
table.
that some time
Dr. David
ago.
Fishman advises the government on pandemic restrictions, including school closures. but is also being paid by a teachers union for offering arguments against the government's school reopening plans. The Sun reports a document from September of 2020 shows Dr. Fisman was retained by the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario to give a different opinion on school reopenings.
Premier Doug Ford releasing a statement tonight saying the reports are deeply concerning, that they weren't aware of the conflict of interest. Well,
I said this, it's incredibly bad for the mental health. I said that was some excuse for some shit.
And say they did pay Dr. Fisman
because, all these people recommend this and that. Well, that doesn't make sense. One in five of them is
they call failures in addressing the pandemic. Dr. Fisman responded in a long Twitter thread earlier today, accusing the Sun of trying to do a hit job. He also says he offered his resignation to the chair of the science table, but was refused, and offered to work for the teachers union for free, but compromised on a discounted consulting fee. Stay with 680 News for the latest.
680 News time, 11:34. More patients medicated if you're waiting for a parcel. A COVID-19 outbreak continues to grow at a Canada Post facility in Mississauga.
12 more cases have been confirmed in the past day at the Canada Post Gateway facility, bringing the total number of infected employees to 224 since January 1st. In a joint statement with Peel Public Health, Canada Post says contingencies are in place, including moving and redirecting some product to other processing plants in its national network. However, customers should still expect delays and are being urged to track their parcels online. Canada Post says it's working with Peel Public Health to try and contain the spread by proactively testing employees at the on-site clinic and enforcing safety protocols with everyone in the facility. The news comes after the Crown Corporation sent 350 afternoon shift workers home last Friday to self-isolate. I'm Michelle Mackey.
What about mornings and midnights?
680 News time, 11:35.
These guys
concern growing in the Simcoe-Muskoka region about a more contagious COVID-19 variant that has ravaged a Barrie nursing home. Nearly 100 more people suspected to be infected with it. 680's Karen Sionen with more.
A worried COVID-19 strain that went through a Barrie nursing home may be more widespread. The region's top doctor, Charles Gardner, says a variant has been detected in 99 new cases. Most are connected to the explosive outbreak at Roberta Place.
The next step is that they need to test those to see if they are the UK variant, but I'm certain that they will be. I believe that absolutely every case that's occurred in this outbreak at Roberta Place is in fact the UK variant.
But 2 of the 99 infections have no known link. Gardner warns we need to assume that a variant of the virus is everywhere.
If it isn't spreading readily in our community now, it may very well do so in your future.
The advice is to behave accordingly. I'm Karen Sionen.
680 News time, 11:36. As temperatures drop, the city's homeless looking to move indoors, but space limited during the pandemic. Mark McAllister, City News, spoke with a street nurse who says single occupancy rooms are desperately needed.
Hundreds have hunkered down in parks across the city for fear of making their way to a center already full or with little room.
We urgently need to open up more shelter hotels, and they need to be single-room hotel shelters, just because, as you know, living in a congregate setting greatly increases the risk for spreading COVID-19. I know many of my clients are quite afraid to stay in shelter right now.
Meanwhile, the city continues to try and move people out of these encampments. Advocates say it's not worth doing that when there's no place to go. In fact, just a couple of nights ago, 8 of the 13 shelters and respite centers were at full capacity. Throughout the pandemic, the city has created more space beyond existing shelters to allow for more distancing in an effort to keep up with proper COVID safety protocols. Mark McAllister, City News.
7:37. Happening now, emergency debate about vaccines on Parliament Hill, but the Prime Minister is also taking a hard look at what can be done about air travel. 680's Parliament Hill reporter Cormac McSweeney with more.
The bad choices of a few will never be allowed to put everyone else in danger.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says nothing's off the table when it comes to restrictions for both international and domestic travel, and an announcement will be made in the coming days. The government's putting the finishing touches on new measures, with the feds trying to make sure there are no unintended consequences for trade. Meanwhile, the European Union threatening to restrict exports of vaccines, which could impact our Pfizer and Moderna doses. The Prime Minister says he's spoken with the CEOs of both companies and received assurances.
Canadian contracts that have been signed and the delivery schedule laid out will be respected.
But conservative deputy leader Candace Bergen is skeptical.
Are they going to be at the drop this time or not, Justin?
Consequences.
The Liberals' failure to deliver vaccines is costing lives.
The Fed say everyone that wants a vaccine will get one by September. Cormac makes Sweeney
25 pounds of weed.
Doug Ford hoping the Fed's new restrictions will include mandatory testing for every single international traveler arriving in Canada. 680's Phil Martino has more from the Premier, who made a stop at Pearson today. Doug Ford says this is federal jurisdiction, so he's calling on the federal government to take action and adopt mandatory testing upon arrival for all international travelers.
This is simple, folks. No politics, no nothing.
You landed Trump. All different languages and stay home.
I'm concerned, they have to be tested.
Because he got angry.
The Premier also wants a temporary ban on flights coming from countries where new COVID-19 strains are being detected. Over 6,800 international travelers have been tested for COVID-19 as part of the province's voluntary and free border testing pilot program at Pearson. It started January 6th. The government says over 2% have tested positive. According to the Prime Minister, new restrictions on travel are coming. I'm Phil Martino. Gas prices are next. This is 680 News.
At Toyota, safety isn't optional. That's why our vehicles come with Toyota Safety Sense Standard. It's a suite of intelligent safety features that other car companies charge extra for. That's like buying bubble wrap and paying extra for the air in the bubbles. Lease a 2020 Highlander LE all-wheel drive for as low as $99 weekly. At 2.49% APR for 48 months with $5,700 down. Ask your local Ontario Toyota dealer about contactless shopping or to book an appointment today.
Now the 680 News gas price update. And Pro predicts the price will rise, as said at midnight, to $1.13.9 a liter. Traffic and weather is next.
Does advertising with 680 News work? Well, things seem to be flowing well for Stan Cleany from Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service.
Things are going great. We've been so successful with our plumbing and drain part of the business, advertising on 680 News. We thought we'd advertise our new flood sewer cleanup and restoration.
So for like almost a straight calendar year, I've been cleaning the storm drains. It wasn't avoidable. These guys
Speaking of sales, how do you like working with your account manager at 680 News?
He's helped us out in every avenue of the business. I should almost bring him on as an employee.
And how about all the writers and producers?
It's always difficult to get the message out to the public. The creative teams helped us out in many ways and helped us get to where we are today.
Well, it can't be easy to stay on top in today's competitive market.
Well, there's always competition, but we try to stay one step above them. The new advertising is working great, and we continue to be number one in the number two business. 680 News has really helped us. We are definitely flushed with success.
Unclog your bottom line and clean up the competition with 680 News. Visit 680ads.com. That's 680ads.com.
We had 119-kilometer-an-hour bus
traffic and weather together on the ones. We'll look at the roads. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Canadian Blood Services. On the eastbound 4, the 01 and the 410 in the collectors. 2 right lanes still blocked off here as you sneak by this crash. It's involving a tractor trailer. The ramp to Dixie, we have the left lane blocked on the ramp as well. Construction east 401 through Morningside and the Express for the right lanes blocked off, and then also the Meadowvale Express to collector transfer has been shut down. Collision is blocking the 7418 ramp to the westbound 401. It's this crash on the west 401 at Curtis, blocking the right lane. Also approaching the Allen in the Express, right lane still blocked here. MTO on scene, all emergency vehicles, and pretty much the crash has been cleared away, but they're still sitting there. And then we had a problem, west 401 west of Jamestown Parkway blocking a right lane. That collision has been cleared away. Same with the crash, eastbound 403 east of Eglinton and the collectors. That one's gone too. A message from Canadian Blood Services. Join the fight against COVID-19 by donating plasma. If you've tested positive for the virus and recently recovered, register now at blood.ca/help. Next report at 11:51 with the forecast. Here's Natasha Ramzai.
On the backside of this Texas low, snow and blowing, snow tapering this evening, -7 overnight tonight, wind chill -14 in the morning, and we will see a bit of sun to start before we cloud back over through the afternoon. Should be a dry Wednesday, though. There will be some lake effect flurries to the north, -4 the high, and then partly cloudy on Thursday with a high of -7. Just that morning wind chill on Thursday, though, biting at -23. Overnight tonight, we're down to a low of -7 degrees. Right now, in downtown Toronto, minus 4, Climate feels like minus 10. It is minus 5 at Pearson. 6:80 Beers time, 11:43. It was a messy day on roads in the GTA.
It was several hours of jackknifed 18-wheelers and vehicles sliding into ditches. Callers to our traffic center telling us about terrible driving conditions at the height of the storm from the north side of the GTA.
404 between Davis and Green Lane, near whiteout conditions, so pretty bad.
And all the way out to the QEW and 403.
3 different accidents, each one of them with transport trucks involved. 2 are service highways.
From the 401 through the Guelph area, just before the noon hour, I saw 3 or 4 serious collisions on the westbound side, just between Guelph Line and Highway 6 alone. And the traffic backlog was so jammed up at one spot, fire trucks could not even get past. Near the QEW in Burlington, I'm Mark Douglas.
6:80 News time, 11:44. Your head says,
Why are you all
make
driving
sound
in that
investments for the
left-hand
future.
lane?
But your heart says, invest in that new sound system right now. With Advice Plus from Scotiabank, we can help you balance both. So you can live for today and save for tomorrow.
Threatening teenage girls with knives because they're protecting
along the way. So, the plan
wild
that helps you invest for
animals
tomorrow can still sound fantastic today.
for everybody's
Get started
good,
at
to be honest.
scotiabank.com/investing. Advice Plus.
Yeah, over and over about people not clearing the way for emergency vehicles. They're just me saying it anecdotally.
And definitely
Somebody out there was driving an ambulance and damn near clipped 2 cars because they were too smart to fucking get out of the way.
from just 0.99% for 24 months. Like the Tiguan with an optional 3rd row, the Jetta with its digital cockpit, and the 7-seat Atlas. Offer ends February 1st. Contact the dealer or visit bw.ca to shop online.
Volkswagen.
Toronto's news.
If that car had been coming at a proper speed, they could have made their turn and just finished it.
It is partly
But it was
cloudy
doing
and
about 70.
minus 4, feeling like minus 10 in downtown Toronto.
So
Good
they
evening,
slam on the
I'm
brakes, and the problem is now they stop right in front of the car. They don't want to
Drama
stop.
tonight between the
Honda
Premier's
Civic.
office and a member of the science table after it's surfaced. He's also on
They would've
retainer
T-boned the
for the
fire.
Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. The
It's the
union.
#1 caution new
David Hicksman
drivers.
saying his
The
rules
one
were
reason is you
public
can
knowledge.
slam on
Ford
the
said
brakes
it's
and
deeply
it'll stop.
concerning and that he had no knowledge about this possible conflict of interest. More than 200 Canada Post employees working at a key Mississauga facility have now tested positive for COVID-19, the outbreak leading to major mail delays. And 99 more cases of a more contagious strain of COVID-19 now identified in the Simcoe Muskoka region. Now time for 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here
the
is
electric
Rob
guitar
Wall.
The Maple Leafs taking both up.
I'm all yours, baby, take some more. I'm yours, where the beat is popping. I'm gonna dance you down, that's what he said.
I'm not sure what that is.
Adjustable bed has so many great features. The underbed lighting, the USB ports for my devices, the built-in massage feature. Relaxation.
For a limited time, buy any adjustable base and get 15% back on a Sleep Country promo card. Restrictions apply. See in store or online for details.
Thinking about senior living, but not sure if it's the right move right now? We understand. At Amica Senior Lifestyles, we recognize the importance of safety and connection. That's why we prioritize the health and well-being of our residents above all else. Here you enjoy premium personalized care and lifestyle options, while your comfort and safety always come first. Let's connect. We'd love to get to know you and create an experience tailored to your unique needs. Learn more at amica.ca.
Impulsive spending, using overdrafts, missing payments. Stop it all now. As those holiday bills come in, the January blues can bring despair. Before you panic, call Goldhar now, and we can shed the debt for pennies on the dollar. We will get you back on track. Call Pound Debt or check us out at shedthedebt.ca. Goldhar and Associates, licensed insolvency trust. Public reputation for hunting monsters.
I can't have a reputation. I've only done it once.
Based on The Silence of the Lambs by Thomas Harris.
What matters is the victims. I am just trying to find out how deep this goes. Do not tell me to slow down. You catch up.
Using PPE to rebates for property tax and energy costs. We are working to ensure our small businesses can keep employing people and serving our communities now and when COVID-19 is behind us. Visit ontario.ca/COVID support to apply. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
680 News Time, 11:48.
Torontonians might be getting back to outdoor dining this spring. The city will recommend an expanded KPT program and an executive committee tomorrow. The new report includes details about the program, key findings, and recommendations. Mayor John Tory says the goal is for a bigger and better program to help local restaurants during the pandemic. KPT launched last summer to help restaurants and bar operators by making it easier to open patios and curb lanes and along sidewalks to allow for physical distancing for diners. If accepted and pending public health orders, the first approved KPT curb lane closures that is, could be installed as early as May. The United Nations marking the 76th anniversary of the Holocaust tomorrow by holding programs to commemorate the horrific genocide. A recent survey found 48% of people could not name a concentration camp. 63% did not know that 6 million Jewish people were murdered. And 49% have seen Holocaust denial statements on social media. Canadian human rights defender Abby Benlow says it's important to discuss the significance of commemorating the Holocaust to ensure these kinds of actions do not happen again. You're listening to 680 News at 11:49. The pandemic has stressed our relationships in ways many of us have never experienced before. 680's Mark McMahon tells us it's leading to a major increase in those considering divorce.
More people are approaching family lawyer Rain Henderson's firm to learn more about what their options are, and she said she's absolutely swamped by the workload. But Henderson says as busy as it is now, she suspects as the pandemic situation stabilizes, people might actually become more motivated to follow through.
It's definitely looking like a lot of people are just sort of finding, getting information, and taking that initiative to be able to separate once they are financially in a better position to do so.
And for couples already separated, Henderson says she's also been dealing with more questions about what can be done if one parent isn't adhering to public health guidelines. I'm Martin McMahon.
Traffic and weather is next.
680 News Time, 11:50.
From the little kids shooting hoops on the driveway with dad
to elite athletes at the top of their game.
For anyone who has ever bounced, kicked, or spiked, or
so many of the public, and instead our law enforcement focuses on vulnerable communities. But I would go right to the criminal code here, and I think that there should be an investigation for potentially other charges as well.
Well, at the moment, they're charged under the Civil Emergency Measures Act, and they're being fined. They got a ticket, like a traffic ticket, each paying under $600. So no one has put the boots. So let me just go with the law here, okay? No one has put the criminal boots to them yet. Can a prosecutor, whether the prosecutor is in the Yukon or elsewhere, can a prosecutor actually do this? Is there a court where you can take these people and say, hey, it happened in Beaver Creek, it really did happen, we've got witnesses, we've got a case, we want to charge them with fraud, we want to put them in prison. Can that happen?
Yeah, I don't see why it couldn't happen. Procedurally, the way it would happen is that the RCMP, or I presume the RCMP, there might be Indigenous Policing Services in Beaver Creek, but they would issue a report to Crown Counsel, and Crown Counsel would review it and decide what charges can or should be laid. They would review, can they prove all the elements of the offense? If they can, they could issue a summons, or they could issue an arrest warrant and have these people. That would be the procedure.
Well, that would make a whole lot more sense to me than basically treating them like they just got a speeding ticket.
Well, I think all of this kind of unrolled so quickly, and in a way, I think it caught everybody by surprise. The scope and scale and the sheer chutzpah of the whole thing. It caught people by surprise. And once again, in some ways, this is an example of how the wealthy kind of get off the hook because it's treated as, well, that's not really criminal, is it? Only it's one of the most criminal things that I think. In my opinion, it falls squarely in the criminal code, and yeah, they harmed people and they subjected people to terrible risk for their own purposes, and they did it under
5. Overnight tonight, we're dropping to a low of -7, wind chill -14 by morning.
Downtown Toronto, right now we have a perfect cloudy sky, -4, feeling like -10. Similar conditions at Pearson Airport.
License 10349. No.
The most valuable, the most precious is vaccine. That vaccine didn't belong to them. They stole it. It's that.
Mm-hmm. And thanks to the integrity of the vaccination process and how incredibly important it is that not be corrupted by whether it's by in this case falsehood, in another case it could be bribery or corruption. Like you say, this is the most coveted thing, and it is the most at risk of criminal interception and corruption. So I actually think that it's important that law enforcement and the prosecution services look very closely at this and bear in mind that all Canadians and around the world people are watching this case, and there is something very precious to protect, and that is the public confidence in this system.
And let me I'm not trying to, pile on here. I'm just trying to get it to law. They're outsiders. They're from Vancouver. We have no idea whether they have any virus in them. They have no idea. But what we do know is they went into a part of the country that is the most isolated and therefore has people, many of them elderly, who are the most vulnerable. They could have killed people. I'm not being hyperbolic, Sandy. They could have killed people because of what they did.
Not just some COVID.
And how many times have we heard from Indigenous communities, please do not come to our communities from outside. We are trying to protect our communities. So, this is not something that has escaped public notice. And this is the CEO of Great Canadian Gaming. This is somebody who has some familiarity with vulnerable populations and not taking advantage of people, although Great Canadian Gaming could be argued the business model. But and don't get me started on that. But I think that there is so much here, and the only other thing I would add is that all of this is we are presuming that the facts as reported are true, but on the basis of the facts as reported, this is my view, is I see grounds for criminal prosecution here, and I do not think that a fine of a few $100s for this civil thing is sufficient. This is like somebody, a dangerous driving. This is like an impaired driving, and you're giving somebody a parking ticket because they parked while they were drunk or something. It's way more serious.
Sandy Garcino, thank you as always for the job you've done tonight. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for having me on, Charles.
Sandy Garcino is a columnist. She writes for a tremendous paper called The National Observer. Google it, if you will. Subscribe to it, if you will. Help good journalists, quality journalists, honest ones, if you will. The National Observer, Sandy Garcino, based now in Vancouver. In just a few moments, I want to give you the update on the Julie Payette, yes, the former Gigi Scandal, in a moment with the French Canadian Common Sense right here on Charles Answer tonight.
Sunday, being stopped, triggering a big short squeeze. Shorts have to cover. Is this a good or a bad thing, what we're witnessing here, Greg Taylor with Purpose Investments?
Well, it is good for people to get involved in that wave, I think, and then that's positive to see after 2 years where no one talks about stocks, really focused on the value of their house. But at the end of the day, trading companies that don't have fundamentals to justify the valuation, we just have to learn the line between gambling and investing here. And people need to make sure that that's the distinction that they understand.
On the broader markets today, some softness. The TSX down 126 points to 17,779. The Dow falling 22 points to 30,937. The S&P down 5, and the Nasdaq down 4 points. Microsoft, the big winner in the extended trade, as it reported better than expected second quarter earnings, a top and bottom line beat. Starbucks reported a fatter bottom line, but a miss on its top line revenue. U.S. same-store sales down 5%, though the company's same-store sales in China better than forecast. Beyond Meat announcing it's teaming up with Pepsi to come out with some plant-based snacks and drinks. Beyond Meat shares are up 17%. Canadian dollar 78.7 cents U.S. This is 680 News.
Across Canada, 35,000 people are homeless each night. Many don't have access to doctors or the health care they need. That's something we're helping to change. TELUS Health for Good brings medical and mental health care directly to those who need it most. Our mobile health clinics bring compassionate care to the streets of 13 communities across Canada, including here in the GTA. Learn more about our mobile health clinics at TELUS.com/health-for-good. Let's make the future friendly together.
At jackpotcity.net, you can do amazing things with just one casino chip. Discover a world of incredible casino games with over 500 high-quality
Challenge accepted. CEE Elevator Service has been serving the GTA since 1980. If your elevator or escalator is constantly out of service and you're not getting the response from your current elevator company that you deserve, call CEE. New installations, or you want to bring your elevator up to current safety codes? Call CEE. They'll set up a maintenance program to ensure your elevator has reliable, trouble-free operation. For a free quote, contact CEE Elevator, 905-428-8300. Online at cee-elevator.com.
Alpine Credits. Hi, I need a debt consolidation loan. Yes, I do. You're a clown. Yeah, and people don't take me seriously. Well,
Hill and partly cloudy. And up in Orangeville, -6 with some clouds. 680 News Time, midnight.
Really? Toronto's #1 for
Good morning.
weather. This is 680 News.
It's Wednesday, January 27th. Good morning. I'm Scott Burnett.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here's what's making news this hour.
The Premier's office, the Elementary Teachers Federation, and a member of the province's COVID-19 Science Board all reacting to news that member was also being paid to argue for the teachers' union on school closures during the pandemic.
The COVID-19 outbreak at a Mississauga, Canada Post facility continues to swell. More than 220 employees have now tested positive, triggering major delays. Tests are finding a variant COVID-19 spreading rapidly north of the city. Health officials in Simcoe, Muskoka are worried about what comes next if it isn't stopped.
The Premier wants mandatory testing for all incoming international travelers.
They have to be tested.
He also wants a temporary ban on flights coming from countries where new COVID-19 strains are being detected.
The Maple Leafs win both of their games on the road in Calgary as the Blue Jays have signed free agent infielder Marcus Semien to a one-year deal. Sports at 45.
Shares of Microsoft could pop as the company reports its strongest quarterly earnings in history, while they and Wall Street are coming off a losing session.
680 News Time, 12:01.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Good here.
Morning. This report is brought to you by IA Private Wealth. Still with collisions out here. We have a brand new one on the eastbound 403. It's east of the 407. So east of the split where you could go onto the 407 or continue onto the 403. So east of there on the eastbound 403. Right lane's blocked off through here, so just watch yourself. Eastbound 401 and 410 at the collectors. Collision involving a tractor trailer. 2 right lanes still blocked off as they deal with it. The right to Dixie has a left lane closed on it as well. Construction East 401 has shut down Meadowvale Express to collector transfer. Got a crash that's still blocking the South 418 ramp to the West 401. It's the collision at Curtis Road blocking the right lane on the westbound 401. And then approaching the Allen.